49ers gonna fuck them boys up, straight up. Great team, and I believe you guys are coming off of a high win. And y'all really on some man, fuck the Bills type vibe. But nah, they be fucking y'all asses up. Like
Two rookie cornerbacks, Khalil Lam and Kristen Binford on Hill and Waddle.
oh,
Jets are looking kind of frisky right now, and the Bengals O line's looking friskier. Like Monday Night Football, we have the Cowboys going to New York to play the Giants.
I don't want to see this bullshit either.
I'm quick, being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools, you can call them boy crap. Man, this gang got rules, man. You better watch your passes. This ain't not new. And then see some action.
What's going on, you boys? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. Today we're talking NFL Week 3 Picks Edition. And before we do that, do us a favor, go down and like and subscribe. And as always, this is Paul, Pick 'em, Win 'em, Contra. Dolphins 2-0, another shot glass. Let's get it. Who's with me?
Hey man, you already know it's that boy Lil KK, aka the Don P.Y., aka Kevin Waterboy, boy. But in this motherfucker, I smell new shoes. Yeah.
Okay.
This is how I'm be stepping on motherfuckers this season, man, with the lightning on the side.
New
But I really did that
swag.
to flex. Shout out my dog Justin. But I really want to talk, before we talk anything, man, I want to talk some fantasy with your ass real quick, man. How your fantasy team's looking so far?
A lot of my teams are looking good because almost all my leagues, I got Drake London in the late rounds. People are like, oh, he's not going to be it. I'm like trying to tell them, but there's always one rookie receiver that's going to be in the top 10, top 15 when it comes to fantasy. It's just like a fantasy rule. Like there's only one receiver and he's getting the targets, and now he's finally working his way into my starting lineup. I can trust him now week 3. And then like Curtis Samuel, I picked him up on the waiver wires on the low, and like now he's kind of balling with crackhead Carson. So like I feel like all my teams, I got so much depth. Like right now I have a problem that you rather have than not have, which is I don't know who to start because they all gonna snap. Like I just don't know which one's gonna snap. I'd rather have that problem than not knowing who to start because they both might suck.
Nah, that's just I'm happy for you, man. Motherfucking in one of my leagues, I'm 1-1. I'm not doing in our league. I'm 1-1. My only loss is to your ass. And like, if motherfuckers had tightened up a little bit, I feel like that game could have been a little closer. You feel me? Because it was like ugly at one point. But these last 2 weeks, I've been snapping. My other league, I'm 2-0. I'm number 1 in the division, most points scored, like unstoppable. I got Cooper Kupp. They got 3 wide receivers, so I got Cooper Kupp, AJ Brown, and Michael Thomas, and I got DeAndre Hopkins on the bench suspension. So like,
chilling.
My game plan for that is to wait for DeAndre Hopkins to come back, and then trade away Michael Thomas most likely for a decent running back because Elijah Mitchell's on the IR, and Josh Jacobs is not getting the touches that he needs.
We'll talk about this later too, but Josh Jacobs is not traveling towards Tennessee for this game because of illness. He has a stomach bug, so you better hit them waivers, my man.
That's not good. I got to make a trade. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's not good. I appreciate you telling me that because I see he was questionable. But that's fantasy life, man. Let's talk Thursday night football. We had the Browns, we had the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we had Brownie the Elf on the motherfucking field for this Thursday, man. What was the final score? I can't remember the final score, but the niggas like scored at the last second.
Yeah, Cleveland ends up winning 29-17 after getting the last second fumble recovery in the end zone. One of them fucking bad beats because I know I had a teaser for the Browns to at least, for the Steelers to not lose by 10. And I was looking good until that fucking last second bullshit. So that shit didn't cover. But hey, man, the Browns got another win. Like they're just trying to save time until Watson's back, and no cap, like Brissett not looking bad right now for someone to save, like someone to be there for now.
You know what's funny about that situation? I actually looked at the original ruling for the Jets. I have Deshaun Watson on the bench in one of my leagues too, and I peeped that like when he got the original 6-game suspension, I understood it now because like in a criminal court, like he didn't play last season, so in the criminal court, the judge was looking at his time served. But the NFL raising that bitch to 11 is straight too. But do you see the fucking fans in the fucking crowd talking about some, man? The fans tailgating talking about some motherfucking happy endings are illegal, having the mat, and I'm like, this is probably the most toxic fan base I've ever met. I've ever
They
seen.
gonna
Like, I
back
don't know.
their guy, bro.
Hey, that shit is crazy. They're going to back their guys. They haven't even seen this guy play yet, but they're going to back him. I respect it.
You're
But
$240 million deep.
oh yeah, you better watch this shit. But this was a fucking game on the low. Like, I feel like the Steelers, their offense looked very, very stagnant at a lot of points in the game. And motherfucking the Browns offense just figured out how to just to keep moving. Like the first two drives, I swear they took it down like 80, 70 yards, 80 yards on the ass to score. And I'm looking like the Browns, they're changing it up. They're fucking Nick Chubb is going crazy. Kareem Hunt is getting in that motherfucker. Even Jacoby Brissett's getting these short, quick passes out of there. Fucking outs and shit, slants, catch them up.
Joku snapped.
Yeah, Joku's over here. I was mad because he's on the waiver wires in one of my leagues, and I was like, that's crazy. Like nobody fucks with this nigga. Well, I got Zach Ertz ass who got 15 points last week, but damn. So I respected the Browns. I found respect from the Browns for this game because like I think I found newfound respect for the Browns, but I lost some respect for the Steelers because like the Browns are showing that they're supposed to be 3-0, like dead ass, and they're showing that they have the system and they have the infrastructure to be a playoff team. You just need a leader. Versus the Steelers, bring Big Ben back. Big Ben, you straight? If I'm like Tomlin, I'm calling Ben like, yo, you good? You been icing?
There was at one point in this game though, I would say Mitch was looking stagnant and looking bad, but I think it was like in the third quarter, they're making a nice little drive, and he throws a 40-yarder right into the breadbasket, Deontay Johnson, and then it just gets dropped. Like, and Deontay's not known for dropping shit. He only has 2 drops this whole season on 36 targets, both of them being this game. So then there was another drop on like some wide receiver screen that ended up like making it a 3rd and long. So like I want to put all the blame on Mitch. I put most 99% of the blame on Mitch, but those 2 big drops right there was the difference between on like bringing the punt unit out and like a big game to bring you into the red zone and keep the game close still. Because at a certain point, the moment, like I think it was the 3rd or 4th quarter where I felt like the Steelers' offense was just dead now. Like the ability to keep up with the Browns and go back and forth was now out the window because they would go 3 and out, punt it, and then Brissett would come in a second and a half, get the pass out, quick ass reads, and to be the best read too, and they're slow and methodical, making their way up the field. And Amari Cooper balling too, low key, like don't need Dak.
Balling. That was another great thing. I like that you made that point because I didn't say that's why I didn't originally come out and say names. I didn't say like Trubisky was doing this, Pickens was doing this. I think the offense as a whole, from even the play calling itself, felt like it was a little stagnant. Like it was kind of like you're not going with the flow. The flow is kind of pushing you, and like you were just kind of just trying to make something shake. Because for a lot of this game was looking like the Steelers just need to put their foot on the gas and they can take the lead and then kind of run off with it. But these motherfuckers was kept just boofing. Like George Pickens had that Odell ass catch, but nobody's gonna bring up the 2 drops that he had, and the one where he dropped in the end zone, the one that he dropped in the end zone that was almost a pick, but Brett stepped out of bounds. Like you feel me? Like there was just the entire offense. Even Najee Harris, he looked good in the beginning. I don't know if he played in the end, but he looked real good in the beginning. But like shit got to slowing down, and like they just can never pick up the pace. And what really got me, and then even the execution, like the play calling, because like when it was 4th and 5, you're down by 2. It's a 2 possession game, and you're gonna need a field goal and a touchdown to win. Motherfucking, so it's 4th and 5. You need a field goal and a touchdown, 2 possession game. The defense gets a penalty. I want to say it was, I can't remember what too many men on the field. And so it went from 4th and 5, you're kicking a field goal to 4th and 1, and they're not going for it. Like they're not. That wasn't even a thought.
I know that's exactly the thing. I remember that too. That was right before they did the onside kick.
I remember just looking at the game, thinking like, so you think you have a better chance of making this field goal here, getting the defense, kicking the goal, getting the onside kick, either not getting it, waiting for your defense to get on the field, getting your defense to stop them, and then you're going to drive all the way back down here and get a touchdown in less than a minute and 20 seconds.
Less than that, because when they finally did get the ball, it was like, what, 10 seconds on the clock?
Like you're expecting your defense with no timeout. So I'm like, I'm looking at Mike Tomlin, like Mike Tomlin, you're just trying to be. Now, I don't know if Mike Tomlin calls the play, but I'm looking at whoever calls the play saying like, yo, I think they're just trying to keep this shit competitive. And that went to their downfall after these motherfuckers scored a motherfucking another touchdown on you with 0 seconds left on the clock. Didn't even kick an extra point. So that's how I look at it. I feel like every piece of the Steelers offense was kind of just like Steelers offense was just stagnant, was stale. That's my best word for it, was stale. And then the defense isn't the same without JJ Watt. I think there's still a pretty competitive defense, a top 15, top 10 defense, but you see the difference. TJ Watt is such a big deal that you have to game plan around him. So if you don't have to game plan around him, a lot of people are feeling a lot more confident. And and what's it called? The offense is getting away. They're running all over the place. You got Nick Chubb. You came into this game knowing that the Browns are leading the league in rushing. You knew if you could do anything to stop the run, and then you had to force them to pass. But you don't have the personnel ready to like. You're looking like you have the personnel, but you just don't have the scheme to stop that. And don't get me wrong, I don't think anybody can tackle Nick Chubb with just one motherfucking by themselves right now. But like, it's better than letting that motherfucker run all over y'all ass.
Yeah, no, the Steelers without TJ Watt, they showed a graphic. Their offense goes from allowing like 19 points per game to like 26, getting 3.5 sacks a game to 1. Like it's just a huge drop off. So like now that without TJ Watt, the Steelers defense can't win games. Like that was the one thing they had to win games, and without him, that winning ability, the X factor is gone. So now they're kind of just bottom of the barrel team right now in the AFC North. The offense is in there, defense is in there, and the AFC North not an easy division.
Yeah, and it's a long season. They have time to figure it out. Maybe let Ken Pickett get a rep or something to figure something out. But they have a hell of a fucking schedule next. They got like Tampa. They put up their schedule during the game. Like they have the Jets next, and after that, they probably have like 3 or 4 tough ass games. And Tampa being one of them. I want to say Los Angeles is one of them. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the Steelers can do to bounce back. Because, this team is never a team you can count out. Every year they make the playoffs. So we're going to see what they can do to figure this shit out.
All right. Well, that's enough Thursday night. Let's talk these picks for this Sunday and Monday night slate, or Sunday day games as well. Let's see. We have first on deck, a very competitive game. We're going to Chicago, hosting the Texans. Chicago is the favorite here at home by 2.5. They think it's a close game. How you feeling about this game going into it?
Chicago versus the Texans. The Texans are actually one of the better teams I've been surprising me more this season, just because of how competitive their last 2 games were. So I definitely like the Texans, but like I want to see what the Bears can do, because they did end up sneaking out and getting a W against the 49ers in the rain, and they didn't do shit the next game. So like, and I understand you're playing against your arch nemesis, your fucking owner and mayor of your city type shit, but like, what the fuck y'all gonna do now? Like, what can y'all do? Y'all guys have it. The matchmakers gave y'all a very competitive game to make it so that like you're not a bottom of the barrel team. But I'm a firm believer in y'all are a bottom of the barrel team, and I think the Texans might be able to figure something out, because I don't believe they have a run defense like that to really do anything about Dameon Pierce, and maybe Davis Mills can catch the boys open.
And Fields 28 passes total. Rest of the NFL 28 completions. Like they're trying to hide something in Fields. He's not the guy. He's not seeing the defense. He's not processing at the NFL speed. So like he has to rely on his legs more than they want him to. And offense is stagnant. Like David Montgomery, I think is the only bright spot for the Chicago Bears. And
Khalil Herbert's not bad.
Yeah, they went away from him. They didn't use him to like he got 100 yards only like 13 carries last game against the Packers. They didn't use him at all because they started going away from them. Derek Stingley, we haven't talked much about for Houston, the rookie, but he's been looking great so far in his rookie season. Really, I think he can shut down Darnell Mooney in his passing offense. And Houston, even though Robert Quinn is the only other bright spot for Chicago, the defense, like Houston, Laramie Tunsil's still putting up top 5 left tackle numbers according to PFF right now. So I think they just happen to match up really well against the only thing Chicago's got. And to top it all off, this is a Lovie Smith revenge game. Like they got rid of Lovie Smith. Houston's I think Houston's gonna get up for this game, and I'm taking Houston. I think you're leaning towards Houston, but I know I'm rocking with them as the underdog here.
Houston is the under. I love when the underdogs like this. It's like, okay, there's some things that can go in their favor. They can figure this shit out. If the Houston offense can come out and kind of put a punch in their mouth early, I think that'd be a big thing. They can score 10 in the first quarter and maybe another 3 or 7 in the second, while the Bears are kind of like still trying to get into the game a little bit. I think that can make the divide, and kind of you'll start seeing the Bears begin to quit a little bit. But yeah, I definitely got to take Texans on this one.
All right, we're gonna go. The Raiders 0-2 are going to Nashville to play the Titans, who are also 0-2. Titans are the home underdog in this situation. Honestly, I think this is gonna be a good game. I think both teams are pretty banged up right now. Some Titans lost Taylor Elong. He's hurt for the whole season. Left tackle, like starting left tackle out for the season is never good. Max Crosby is going to be going up against that. I think like another big game for Max Crosby. Diggs just had a big game against his Titans secondary. I think if Devontae Adams, I expect him to bounce back. Raiders don't have Josh Jacobs though, and they will not have Hunter Renfrow, who is in concussion protocol. So that does make me a little worried. But I'm big.
When he get the concussion? When he get the concussion in practice, or is that after that?
I believe it was on that last play where he fumbled it.
Dang, that's crazy. I had a concussion on that. That's tough.
And but I mean, I'm big on going against the Titans, and I was big on the Raiders, so I feel like I can't jump off the train just yet. Just after like the Raiders, I felt like they should have won that game last week if it wasn't for that fumble 6. So
it wasn't for the motherfucking Cardinals turning that shit on with 20 seconds in the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, so I'm rocking Raiders. Are you see a way that this Titans at home is scrappy here and gets the dub? Derrick Henry, King Henry.
I mean, I think no. Got Chandler Jones and no. I think Derrick Henry could go off, could have a decent game because he has been playing better. But this team's a problem.
On to Ravens. Lamar Jackson's going to play the Patriots. Patriots are the underdog at home here. Ravens -2.5. Ravens just signed Justin Pierre-Paul. I doubt he's gonna play, but they did just sign him to the team. How do you feel in here? I know Lamar's your boy.
Oh man, because like think about first off, Lamar likes killing the Patriots. Like the way he be fucking up Belichick is kind of dangerous. Cause I remember when he beat them boys his MVP season, which was Tom Brady's last season with the Patriots. That was a good look. That shit looked fucking great. He put on the thing. And I think this is another chance for him to put on an MVP type performance. Because we're gonna we forget that he really put on an MVP performance because Tua, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle was leaving the secondary looking crazy out there last week. So it's easy to forget that, like, yo, Lamar for 3.5 quarters looked like the fucking man. And he probably would take a little bit away from him if that pick had counted against Xavier Howard had caught. But there's no way that I don't see the Ravens bouncing back from that loss, coming back and not facing any adversity in this game because like they finna fuck them boys up.
I co-sign, bro. 2.5 is not big enough. Patriots offense has only put up 24 points total. Ravens put up 40 last week, and they've been 27, I think, the week before. I don't think Mac Jones and this Patriots team has a fucking solution to be able to go into a shootout. And they don't have the wide receivers like Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters. I know everyone's like, oh yeah, like they're blowing. They're still all pro cornerbacks, bro. That's just Waddle and Tyreek are freak of natures. Like Patriots don't have those wide receivers to do that. And I think this is an easy win here for the Ravens. And like Harbaugh remembers all the times he lost to Bill Belichick before he had Lamar Jackson and the boy. So like this is a low key, like a 10+ year coaching rivalry that like no one ever talks about.
And they used to stay playing each other in the playoffs on the low.
Yeah, AFC was always heated with the Ravens and the Patriots.
Like the Patriots, there was a point of either the Ravens, the Patriots, or the Colts represented the AFC for the longest, I swear.
Then we have Miami hosting the Bills here. We're 5.5 point underdogs, bro. We're gonna beat the brakes off the Bills, bro. This is revenge week for us, baby.
See, look, you see what happened when I went against the Dolphins last week. all-time performance in front of my face. Like I'm watching this net. I never enjoyed being so wrong so well till last week. Like being wrong about the Ravens beating y'all and then watching the Ravens go up 34-15 or 20. So I respect this Dolphins team to the fullest. I believe you guys are a great team, and I believe you guys are coming off of a high win. And y'all really on some man, fuck the Bills type vibe. But nah, they be fucking y'all asses up. Like I don't know what it is about them boys. It's like LeBron and the Raptors. There's just something like the Dolphins play fucking phenomenal against everybody except them boys. And like I think they have your number. And I think the Bills are on a fucking MVP Super Bowl chair right now. Them boys look determined. So I think this game will be a lot closer than a 5-point spread. But like I wouldn't be surprised if they fucked y'all ass up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm still rooting for y'all. I'm still team 2.
See, this is why some people be like, "Oh, Paul, didn't Miami just have a Gatorade dumping performance last week?" I would agree most of the time. I definitely would, but we don't look ahead when we got Bills on deck. Like with the Bills on deck, the way they dominated us prior, we're not coming in flat. We like this is a big game for us. And one of the bigger reasons why I'm not just here biasly taking us. I'm also taking us because Mika Hyde, safety, is going to be out. Both of their defensive tackles, Jordan Phillips and Ed Oliver, is going to be out. Cornerback Dane Jackson is out. So they're going to have 2 rookie cornerbacks, Khalil Lam and Kristen Binford, on Hill and Waddle.
Oh, wow.
This is what did I say when we played the Ravens? Like their whole corner room was banged up. They're hurt guarding them boys. They're going to have a big game.
Yeah, you saw that shit.
I'm stressing it again, bro. The rookie cornerbacks with the Bills are going to be on Tyreek and Waddle. Start them. Big performances, 100 yards plus touchdown. They're going to have a shootout down in Miami this weekend.
Respect. And like, I like that, but you still have to worry about the Bills' offense. You guys have a great defense, but like we seen what the Bills did with Jalen Ramsey. We seen what the Bills did against well, their Titans don't got no corners like that. I do like their safeties though, but they ain't really got no corners like that.
We gotta see.
It's gonna be a great game. I'm actually gonna have this This is a 1:00 game.
Yep.
Dang, I'm gonna have this one on the big screen. That's probably gonna be game of the week.
All right, another 1:00 game. We have Bengals going up to New York to play the Jets here. Jets are a 6.5-point underdog after coming back to beat the Browns last week. Flacco's playing like a man who has nothing to lose. Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson might be the most slept-on receivers.
I need you to say his name correctly. It's
Big Bo Joe.
Bo Joe. My boy go put that bow in the throw.
And I mean, this is a Bengals back-to-back road spot. I know we always don't like teams on back-to-back road spots. I know we don't like the Jets, but Jets are looking kind of frisky right now, and the Bengals O-line's looking friskier. Like, how are you feeling about this game?
I mean, this is a good game. I think the Jets, coming off of that win last week, pretty decent, but they're playing the Lions?
The Bengals.
Oh.
The Jets are hosting the Bengals here.
Please, Joe Burrow. I need Joe Burrow to come back, figure out what they got to do, because the Jets have not shown that they have a pass rush like that. So just go ahead, only let Joe Burrow get sacked 2 or 3 times this game, and let them boys go off and step on. But if they don't step on, they put on the gas and turn up this week. If this game isn't at least a 2-possession game, I'm hoping like 17 points at least. And I'm not gonna really sit down and look anybody in the face and say, "Yo, the Bengals are a team you could trust late in the season this year."
I will say Jets haven't had a back-to-back win since December 2020. It's been a long time. You got Joe Flacco versus Joe Burrow, the battle of the Joes, old and new. I can never pick Jets to win, so I'm taking the Bengals. But I think this Jets defense is going to keep this game closer, just because this Bengals O-line is just that bad.
I mean, I don't know what it is about. Do you think this team just does not know how to cultivate O-linemen? They don't know how to build an O-line?
Someone did point out, because O-linemen, I can't remember, I think it was Andrew Whitworth. He was pointing out how like O-linemen, like you got to be able to know what each other's mind is thinking at all times. And like you don't get that just because you're good and another guy's good doesn't mean you automatically know what each other's thinking and can mesh together. So sometimes O-linemen don't mesh, and you just can't really ever get going because of the fact that you're just not. You got to be one whole unit, and sometimes you just can't click. You can be a Pro Bowler all you want, but if you're not clicking with the other four guys, it's not working.
And an O lineman, you only have to get by them once or twice to have a bad game. Like if you get by an O lineman once, everybody's gonna look like, damn, this man, blah blah blah, gave up a sack against blah blah blah. Like,
well, speaking of sacks, we have that boy Aiden Hutchinson and the Lions here. I think he had
three sacks last game.
3 sacks, and I think he got a safety. I don't know if he got the safety or someone, but I know there was a safety in that game.
He was in the mix. I don't think they credited it to him though, but he was definitely in the mix.
Okay, so we got the Lions going to Minnesota to play that boy Captain Kirk, who's not on prime time. Gotta stress that one. And Vikings are laying 6 points. They're favored by a whole 6 right here. This is Lions' first game on the road also, and Vikings are coming off a big L. Maybe they tighten up ship here, but how you feeling here?
I felt so good about picking the Vikings last week. This week, they scared me. Not because they're playing against the Lions, a divisional rival, so somebody that understands how your offenses works and your bread and butter because they play out twice a year, but because I don't know what Kirk Cousins is showing up. Is your cousin Kirk showing up, or is Kirk, I don't like to see the lights in prime time showing up? Because Jay Jett is going to be open. Jay Jett is going to be open regardless. I mean, they have 2 good corners back there, and Amani and the other homie. What's the name again?
Jeff Okadaga. He's cornerback 1, I know.
They just got some crazy ass last names over there on corner. Like that's crazy out there. But I definitely respect the fact that these Lions team won last week, and they won like convincingly. Well, not convincing, but they just kept on scoring, and the team. So their offense showed promise. I'd like this game to be a close game, but I don't know. I feel like if the right Kirk Cousins shows up, I don't know what this Vikings defense exactly is, but if the right Kirk Cousins can show up and be able to get the ball to Thielen, and if he can really get the ball to Thielen, and then while Jay Jettis is being covered up crazy, I think they can get this dub and make sure Dalvin Cook stays in the mix and stays in the mix of everything. But if they perform half as bad as they did on Monday night, I don't think they could beat the Jaguars.
Hey, man, that's why you always fade Kirk Cousins in this Vikings squad on prime time. They always know how to stink it up no matter how hot they are going into it. I think this is a good bounce back spot for them. I don't think this is a Lions' first road game. A lot of people think they're doing real good because they played at home back to back. They had the home fans in their favor. Now it's finally a game that's not in their favor, and I think it's going to show a little bit more than what some people are expecting. So I like the Vikings in this spot to win, and I think they win pretty convincingly, to cover that 6 too. But Vikings straight up.
Nice.
You got the Vikings as well?
Oh, I didn't get my pick up.
Nah, you're kind of leaning on both sides. So I didn't know for sure which one you had.
I got the Vikings, but I got the Vikings that we saw week 1 against the Packers. Like, I need that team to show up. I need that team to show that Kevin O'Connell is some type of offensive genius. And I don't know what their defense is, but I just need them to get stops.
Okay, I respect it. All right, and to I think this is the last 1:00 game we have on the slate. No, we got a couple more. But Chiefs going to the Colts. Colts are 5.5-point underdog.
I would have gave them a whole 10. The Colts is not shit.
It was bigger. It was 7. And people have been betting on the Colts a lot at that 7 enough to bring it down to 5.5. So the betting people think it's going to be a close game here, I think. Darius Leonard's still out. He's been practicing, but he's out. They announced that. And that I didn't know, but the reason why their O-line's been looking so bad was they were starting a guy who played left guard at left tackle. And halfway through last game, Frank Reich realized this isn't working. Now they got rookie left tackle out there, which is, I mean, take that for what it's worth. I mean, it's about Matt Ryan's health agent. Price is going up right now.
The way they put up that fucking egg against Jacksonville last week, I have no respect for this Colts team right now. I can only hope to see what they're going to promise they can bring into this season. And I don't think it starts this week against Patrick Mahomes.
No, yeah.
Especially after that tough-ass Chargers game they just played. They just had to face some adversity, and they could really show, we're still the Chiefs. If they don't put 40 on these motherfuckers, I'm gonna be upset because I got Pat Mahomes in fantasy.
Yeah, but I can, however we want to cut this pie, where Andy Reid off a long rest wins a lot of the games. Mahomes versus that defensive coordinator, Gus Bradley, 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Colts have one of the worst defense against tight end right now. Travis Kelce's a fucking beast tight end, if you don't know. Colts have lost 10 straight games at home as an underdog. Mahomes is 6-0 when playing in domes. Like, no matter how you want to cut this pie, the Chiefs are walking out with this dub.
This nigga said Mahomes is 6-0 with playing at domes. That's probably the most betting math I've ever seen.
Yeah, but you put him in a dome, there's no wind resistance. He's throwing darts.
I like it. I got
On to our next game here. This is another big spread, one of the biggest spreads of the weekend. We have the Washington Commanders hosting division rival Philadelphia Eagles, and what should be a Carson Wentz revenge game. Got the Eagles rolling in town. Now he's the captain of the Washington Commanders. How do you see this game going?
Oh no! I mean, the Commanders wide receivers have actually been stepping up and making Carson Wentz look a lot better, making it look like I'd rather have Carson Wentz than Matt Ryan type better. But the way Darius Slay played on Monday, short week, those corners really stepped all the way up. They wasn't giving up shit. So I really can't imagine them. And it's in Philly or Washington.
It's in Washington. Washington's the home dog by
Yeah,
almost a whole touchdown.
I can't. I think that's pretty fair. Like I can't imagine them boys, those corners back there in that defensive line, that defensive rush, not making something shake against this team. I'm trying to think. What did they had? Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence scored what 21 points on this team.
Yep, and then the Lions put like 30 something on them.
Yeah, and then Jared Goff with 30. So, motherfucking Jalen Hurts might run all over these motherfuckers. On top of getting the ball to AJ Brown and Dallas Goedert. And I don't got to play Sham this week in fantasy, so that's a good thing. Yeah, I really like AJ Brown to step up and have a much better game than he had last week. Yeah, this Eagles team might run with it. What do you think's gonna happen?
No, I agree. I think the Eagles win here. Like they're just steamrolling. They're low key doing the same shit the Bills are kind of doing right now. Just they let the Lions get in the game more than they should have in that first week. They were winning like 38-20, and then they let the Lions score 2 last minute touchdowns to make it look closer. But in reality, like they have the number 1 offense right now. They're putting up like 450 yards, right? The number 2 is the Dolphins, number 3 is the Bills. Like so the Eagles right now they look great. Washington, I love Carson, but I can't back him right here. Like I want him the ball because it's fuck the Eagles in his mindset right now. But when Carson has that mindset, it's typically when he starts fucking up. So that's why I'm gonna go away from him and I'm gonna rock with the Eagles. One of the more crazier 1:00 games. I wouldn't say crazy, but I think funner games. Division rivals, Panthers hosting the Saints here. Saints are favored by 2.5. Kamara's still banged up. Winston's got the back brace. He's still banged up.
How did the Saints first 3 games all division rivals? Falcons, Bucks, and Panthers. Like how did they? Who said that? Who said that was? Is that what the matchmaker said? They said, yeah, Saints fans just choose violence. So
that's what we want to see, baby.
We just want the most. We just gonna give them the most violence we can find. Like what the fuck? But hey, what do you think's gonna happen in this game? Because I don't think the Panthers are shit.
I don't think the Panthers are shit, but I will also give them. I will slice them a little bit of like benefit of the doubt because that first game, you're not expecting a rookie kicker to blast like a 58-yarder to win the game on your ass. And then the other one, you lose by a field goal, but you started the game off with your kick returner fumbling the ball in like the 20. And then the very next drive, Robbie Anderson fumbles on like the third play of your offense. So like you gave the ball up within 30 yards of a touchdown, like back to back within the start, just to start the game, and dug yourself out of that hole just to lose by a field goal. But given all that, they look terrible. Like they're still not a team that I'm like, oh yeah, look at teams. Dan Orlovsky broke it down where if Christian McCaffrey is 1 yard behind Baker, they run the ball every time, an RPO. And if Christian McCaffrey is actually lined up next to Baker, they pass the ball every time. And if Dan Orlovsky can see that shit, these defensive coordinators have been licking their chops looking at this shit. But I don't want to stress enough. Winston is hurt. Like, this back injury is more major than some people think. Kamara is legitimate. He didn't play last week he's banged up. So these are two playmakers that are hurt. And the O-line has just looked so goddamn awful for the fucking Saints. Like, that's something where the Panthers, Brian Burns, like that's a key of victory if I was the Panthers, is defense. We're gonna go after Winston. Force him to get 10 turnovers, throw some picks like he did last week. Fucking feel uncomfortable in the pocket. He can't move. His back's fucked up.
So you think the Panthers might steal this one as a home dog?
I'm taking him as a home dog here just because Saints love teams in domes when they go outside into the state on these like ugly ass fields. They're not the same team than they are when they play at home. Panthers, I think, just have their number. I don't have the exact number, but I know Panthers actually lead. They stole a game last year against the Saints at home. So like I think the Panthers can do it again. And like I don't know, bro. Like I just have that gut feeling on this one. Everyone's out on the Panthers, so it's time for me to dive in.
I respect your gut, man. I respect your gut. I don't fuck with either of these teams. I actually like the Panthers a lot more than I actually hate the Panthers a lot less than I hate the Saints. But I'm got to take the Saints on this one because I feel like they had Tom Brady's ass in a bubble until that fourth quarter, until they got to pushing Marshawn Lattimore ass and shit. But what was the game like? 3-3 going into the third, like
then like 3-6.
So I feel like the Panthers, the Saints defense, Marshawn Lattimore is playing, right?
Yep.
So yeah, even though the Saints defense is I feel like the Saints defense can really keep this game close, and their offense just has to make something shaky once or twice. Because I've seen what you did to the Falcons. I didn't watch the Bucks game, but I saw how I saw those highlights, and I saw how much every play there was just some tension. There was just some animosity on every drive. So if you can come with that same energy and really make Baker frustrated and keep him in a box, I think you can really do. And I don't think that's hard to do against them. So like, I'm not trusting the Saints defense, but I just think this is their chance. This is especially after coming off an L, maybe they could bust them boys.
All right, happy we're finally split on a game here. Now
we split on 2 games. We split on the Dolphins and then this one.
All right, I just like seeing a little separate, like when we're like so look back some differences. But another one, we got first of the 4:00 games. Chargers are hosting the Jaguars. Justin Herbert is a game time decision. He is still banged up. Yeah, it was a -7 for the Chargers. But now that he's a game time decision, the spread is gone. I told Kyle not to take the -7 because of this exact reason. Now he's looking foolish because no one knows if Herbert's gonna play. But
they still got Taylor?
What?
They still got Tyrod Taylor?
No, Tyrod Taylor's actually suing their team doctor for puncturing his lung right now. So same team doctor that's working on Herbert right now. I don't know how he still has a job.
Bro, this man fucks up Herbert, bro. They might hang him. I'm not gonna lie.
And JC Jackson's looking doubtful. I don't know why y'all played him Thursday if he's still that banged up, because now he might not even play this Sunday. Corey Lindsey's banged up. He might not play. Keenan Allen's questionable. So they have some people on the injury report. Like Corey Lindsey's the center, like the veteran center too. So that's a big deal if he might not play.
So what I'm hearing is that Austin Eckler's gonna get a lot of extra touches.
That's what I'm thinking too. And also, like, Jags are 0-18 in their last 18 road games. That's just a crazy little fact. Like, so I think they had their big win this week. They come down a little bit to earth. Even if Chase Daniels is starting quarterback, I think they can scheme up an offense that can get some points. And it's not even offense. It's Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, and Tranquil at the pass rushers against this offensive line. Like, Trevor Lawrence looked good last week, but that's because he had time. This week, I don't think he's going to look nowhere near as good. He's going to be running for his fucking life. And the Chargers, even with the backup QB, I would take him here. Then on to our last couple games here. We got a couple more 4:00 ones. We got your Falcons going to Seattle Seahawks in a pick 'em. This is literally a 50-50 game. How do you feel here? Like this is this is the battle of maybe top 5 picks. Like this is a big deal right here.
All right. Fuck you. That was funny.
No, someone once I heard that today. Like, man, loser gets first pick. Like that's it. Like
that was actually funny. But nah, I mean we're a bad team, but we don't play like a bad team. Like you couldn't tell.
oh no.
The record's gonna tell you we're a bad team, but the last 2 games show you that like we have fight in us. We have dogs. They just don't have a lot of bark. You feel they just don't have a lot of bark on their ass yet. We gonna get them there. You feel me? But I'm feeling fucking great going into this game. I haven't talked shit to my brother all week. Definitely got to talk shit to him all day tomorrow. And then I got from 1 to 4 o'clock to talk as much shit as I can. And then I just want us to go out there and look fucking great. But I've been screaming that Marcus Mariota isn't going to play through more than 3 games. So, like, this might be the game that he's and now it's Desmond Ridder, you feel me? But I like us going into this game. Each of our last 2 games, we showed that the offense can make moves, can drive, can make plays. The defense can show some type of sort of pass rush that you never had before. I mean, cornerback play didn't look the best against Michael Thomas in the 4th, but every other time I feel like we didn't look terrible, and we kept Cooper Kupp and them boys. Cooper Kupp's only 1 touchdown, so that's always a good thing to most people. So I'm looking forward to us thinking of us making something shake in this game. I don't see the Seahawks doing anything. I think they got up to beat Russ, and now it's time for them to get fucked up by the rest of us.
Yeah, and they looked good against the Broncos last week, but like, is that even impressive right now? Like Broncos have not looked good at all. So, I mean, I liked with that first week, but and it was Russ. Falcons, they almost pulled off the impossible last week. Drake London looking like a guy. I need them to find Kyle Pitts, get him more involved. I think he only has like 4 catches on the year or some crazy stat. Like,
yeah, it's like 2 catches for like 14 yards or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was in both games.
Yeah, so he just needs to get a little. I mean, just get him a little bit more involved. He's a playmaker. You don't got too many, so like you get
I like
the
him
boys
over the
going.
top. I like him over the top, one-on-one with a safety up the seam. I love those routes with him. I don't think Marcus Mariota got the arm and the accuracy to put it there.
Well, and I'm breaking a Cardinal rule again. This is another back-to-back road spot for Atlanta. But hey, Atlanta stayed after the LA game and chilled on the West Coast. And Marcus Mariota played at Oregon. He loves the West Coast. Played for the Raiders. He loves the West. Like, I feel like he's not, even though it was an earlier game, he's not worried about that. So yeah, I'm riding with your Falcons here also. Like, I'm not sold on Geno in that rushing game. I think Penny looks good in spots, but they're only averaging 50 rushing yards a game right now. So they're like Falcons. Cardell Patterson's looking pretty good. Mariota's looking good. Drake London's looking good. Defense, I think, can actually play a big game here.
I mean, I'm looking forward to our defense. Can our defense show that same pass rush? Because we can show promise of a pass rush and that we can do things, that shows that we're trending upwards in life. And then second, motherfucking, we can keep that up throughout the season. We'll be dangerous for a lot of foes. You feel me?
Facts.
Especially the way we got back on the Saints online. I mean, that doesn't really mean much as of right now because he got fucked up last game too. But that's a good defense.
Hey, y'all look good. I mean, y'all got picks on Stafford. Like, I think y'all looking good right now. Next game, 4:00. Packers are playing the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are favored by 1 point. Another pick'em game, basically back to back. Bucks offense has continued to look kind of stagnant, struggling. I'm pointing out now their front 7 is still raw. Their secondary had 1 big game last weekend, so now people are going to think that they're great and they're like that. They're not like that. Winston just was getting pressured and throwing some iffies out there.
I mean,
yeah, I don't see the fucking. I'm seeing people talking about, what's that? What are they gonna do with the corner? I'm like, bro, the corners have 1 good game. They're not gonna go back to back and like all these picks. I mean, I might be wrong, but I just don't see it. No Mike Evans, a banged up O line for the Buccaneers, and the Packers low key are the number 1 pass rushing team right now. They generate 64% of pressure on pass rushes, so they're number 1. Packers look like they got their groove back last week. I know it was the Bears, but I think this is a team that looks like they're trending more up, whereas the Bucks are trending more down. So I'm riding with the back-to-back MVP here.
This is interesting because the Packers, I'm definitely taking the Packers on this one. But I would love to see, like, I don't think we've seen this matchup in a while since. Did they play last year?
No, people were waiting for it into the playoffs, I think, but they played twice that one year where I
Yeah,
think,
they played playoffs, and then they went 1-1 against each other.
yeah.
So now you got the Packers with no receivers.
And this could
That
be the last dance for both of them too. So this is people are saying this could be like two GOATs final face off in the NFL.
Yeah, this is gonna be actually a pretty interesting game. I'm gonna tap into this one. But yeah, I got my Packers on this one. I hope Aaron Rodgers continues trending upwards. Hope Christian Watson kind of gets a feel for the game more and starts looking a little more exposed. And I just think that this secondary is always giving Tom Brady trouble. Like this, there's never been a day that like he really threw 3 picks. He threw 3 picks last time they played. Like the secondary always gives Tom Brady trouble, and that's what's going to be the problem for him.
We're both on the Packers. Y'all didn't pick up on that, but on to our last 4 o'clock game before we hit these primetime games. We got the Rams going to Arizona to play the Cardinals. Rams have been looking kind of bad. The Cardinals pulled out a rabbit out of the hat last week. I mean, how are you breaking this one down? Who you rocking?
I'm glad you said that. This game on paper doesn't look like what are the Rams 1-1. It doesn't look like it's gonna be a close ass game. But the way the Cardinals came back and showed resilience, and right now they're just stacking wins. But I also feel like that Raiders defense isn't gonna put as much. I think Max Crosby and Chandler Jones.
Oh no, it's the Rams versus Cardinals.
Yeah, and then I'm talking about like last week when they played the Raiders. I know Chandler Jones and Max Crosby are dudes and they had good games, but I really feel like Aaron Donald and the boys are gonna have a field day against this motherfucker. And they still haven't showed anybody that they're shit yet. Like nobody really. Jalen Ramsey got that pick, of course, cool, but it was against Marcus Mariota. Just chill. So like they still have to show out. And this is their game to show out. Is there any injuries on offense for the Rams?
I'm not sure if Van Jefferson's playing. Nothing that's like big enough for me to note.
Okay, so and Allen Robinson found a way to get going a little bit last week, so I think this is the Rams' chance to really show like, yo, we're the reigning Super Bowl champs, so let's fucking have a great game. So I'm taking the Rams on this one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to take the Cardinals, but I don't know. I don't trust them boys.
Yeah, Kyler Murray is 1-5 against the Rams. Sean McVay owns Cliff Kingsbury in the division. Stafford has, but then at the flip side, I just think this Rams team, I just haven't seen anything from them. Like I had them in my Super Bowl favorite, and first 2 games, I like other than Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee, like they have no run game to speak of. Allen Robinson, yeah, he got kind of more involved, but he's still not really that number 2 receiver that the Odell Beckham replacer, the Robert Woods replacer. Like he's not that right now. And I mean Stafford's 5 interceptions at home. Like they had back-to-back home games, and he still threw 5 interceptions. Now he's on the road. I'm actually going to go with the Cardinals here as a home underdog. We rarely see me take the Cardinals, especially over the Rams, but this is the Cardinals. I think Kyler's realized if he doesn't run, they lose. So maybe we see him go for like 75, 80 yards here, and they just kind of, and like we see Matt and Kyler win this game.
I would love to see them boys try, but I don't know, man. I don't know if Bobby Wagner's going for that. How's he looking this season?
I'm not the biggest fan of Wagner because I just feel like he just gets stats. Like I never feel like I never feel his presence in the game. I just see like someone gets a slant, he makes the tackle. He doesn't miss open tackles. But other than that, he's not like getting sacks to change the game. He's not creating turnovers. Like I don't feel his presence right now.
I respect it.
And then our primetime Sunday game, we have 49ers going to Denver to play the Broncos. Broncos are the home underdog. 49ers are favored by 1.5. Who you rocking with here? How you feeling? Is it Jimmy G and them boys? Oh, George Kittle, I think, is coming back. So that's a big thing to note. Patrick Surtain is probably going to be out for the Broncos, and Justin Simmons is probably going to be out for the Broncos. Jerry Jeudy is banged up for the Broncos. He is questionable, but how do you feel about this game?
49ers gonna fuck them boys up straight up. Russ does not look like Russ hasn't done anything to show his unlimited stature. I don't think this team's gelled and mixed well. Not a Nathaniel Hackett fan. I'm not with Bronco County at the moment, and it's really because the boys fucked me up in the first week. But like, I'm not with Bronco County, and I think this 49ers team might be better with Jimmy G starting and not Trey Lance.
I'm gonna say it too, bro. I'm selling all my Bronco County estate. It is up in the air. Whoever wants it can have it. I'm out of there. Them boys. I'm not with the rush train. The Broncos fans were literally counting down the play clock last weekend, so they don't get a delay of game again. Like that's like this time, the time man. They're looking like Mike McCarthy with the Cowboys last season when they was getting delay of games for no fucking reason. It's like, what are y'all doing? Like y'all can't even do the little things right. The Russ is not hitting anybody in stride. It's just like they're the more hurt team, and there's just the mojo of the 49ers when they've got Jimmy G, they're hitting him on the helmet, they're all picking him up, they're like tears of joy, like it just got the mojo back. And the Broncos, I just see they ain't got no mojo. Like that's just how I see it. So that 1.5 spread is way too small. Give me the 49ers here on prime time.
No cap. And the biggest thing about it is this is when I go back to Sunday nights. I'll be sitting there thinking like, I'd rather that Browns Steelers game. I'd much rather watch that than the fucking 49ers Broncos.
Well, then we get a division rivalry game here for Monday Night Football. We have the Cowboys going to New York to play the Giants.
I don't want to see this bullshit either.
The line was 3. Now it's I'll pick them at 1 point. Giants are favored by that 1 point. How do you feel this NFC division rivalry going?
This is actually an interesting game because the Cowboys beat the fucking Bengals. And like, I don't think that was a great game. I don't think there was a lot of scoring stuff, but they said Cooper Rush didn't look too much worse than Dak. So it's kind of like they just gonna play how they live out there. So like, you would think that the Giants starting off 2-0.
2-0, baby.
You gotta fade the Gatorade eventually. So this is a because of the injuries. I feel like this is a better matchup. But like Tony Pollard, Kayvon Thibodeau got hurt, didn't he?
Yeah, he's still out, and same with the other pass rusher Z. But they won both those games without their top 2 pass rushers. People have pointed out.
Even though the Titans have showed they're not a great team, I think they really showed that the Giants beating them was a fucking like you just have to mess up a shit ton. And I don't know. I kind of like the Cowboys in this one. I don't even like picking the Cowboys like that. But I think the Cowboys would win 2 games in a row without Dak. It would be these 2 games.
All right, we're both on the Cowboys here. I mean, they were +3, and I took the +3. I get a field goal, but now it's a +1. I knew the line was going to get smaller. Like this Giants team is not a 3-point favorite.
You can't refund a bet.
No, well, yeah, you can't. But now that the line's at +1, like my odds are like I still get the same odds as the people who bet on the +1. I just like locked in at the 3, so like I get an extra 2 points on the ass.
Oh, okay. So you get better off.
This is a Tavon Diggs pick 6 type of game. Daniel Jones, what is it? Where's the stat at right here? Daniel Jones 0-8 in primetime games. He is 0-5 in Monday Night Football in particular. 12 interceptions, 3 fumbles. He turns the ball over when the lights are bright.
Oh no! Last game when they played the Commanders, he had the wheels. He was Danny Wheels.
Hey, bro, I'm just pointing out the stats, bro. And in particular against this Cowboys squad, the Giants lost 9 of the last 10 games. So like the Cowboys, I've watched almost all the Cowboy Giants games, and almost every time it's like the Cowboys just like to beat this Giants team. Like this is their little brother of the division, at least for the last 5 or so years. And the Giants have the 32nd ranked O-line. Brian Burns had a great day. That's why I picked the Panthers last week. And Brian Burns did get over the sack, like I called. I think Micah Parsons, who is what? How many sacks he have already? 4 sacks. Yeah, he got 4 sacks already. 22% pressure percentage. So he gets to the quarterback 1 every 5 snaps. So
he has more sacks than the Steelers' entire team.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Highsmith 3.5. But Giants O-line ranked 32nd against Micah Parsons. That's all I need to know. Cooper Rush looked pretty damn good. Like, give me the Cowboys on prime time to own Daniel Jones.
That's funny as fuck. I hope this game is ugly as hell. But I'm looking forward to this week. The last 2 weeks of football have been fucking phenomenal. And this is going to be another good one. I'm calling it.
I think we're gonna start with the 2 locks and the dog here, Kev. Give us 2 locks and a dog this week.
All right, man. I'm gonna enjoy my fucking locks this week. So we're gonna start off with my dog. Hey, don't tell them boys, but I'm going with the Houston Texans as my dogs this week. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I like that one.
Never believed in the Texans in life. I've never even been to Texas before, but if I'm going to Houston for spring break, I'm gonna trust the Texans this week, man. And then my locks gotta take the Chiefs over the Colts, because what the fuck is a Colt? Is that a horseshoe? You don't understand that the Chiefs, they ride the horses, you feel me? Like, yeah, I'm definitely taking the fucking Chiefs on that one. And then my other lock has to be my Atlanta fucking Falcons.
Okay.
Man. I want us to go in there and play with some great fucking energy, show that we're like a very competitive team. And I'm taking my team to bust some ass this week.
All right, I respect it. I guess I'll start with my locks first. My 2 locks, I'll go different than you. I'm taking the 49ers to beat this Broncos team. I just haven't seen anything from the Broncos. The 49ers got all the mojo with Jimmy G back. Then my other lock is going to be the Ravens to beat this Patriots team. The Ravens definitely are a better team here. They're going to drop 30. If you drop 30 on the Patriots don't have the offense to score 30. And that's how I see this game going. And then my dog, pour it up for the big boys. We're going with a big
hold
5.
on. Let me pour a Falcon shot with you. Hold on.
All right, for the audio listeners, bro, my dog this weekend will be the Miami Dolphins with 5.5-point home dogs. Like, the Bills are hurt. They're gonna have 2 rookie corners on Tyreek and Waddle. Yeah, Miami's got some injuries as well, but I just think we have the weapons. We had this game circled. I said last week we're gonna beat the Ravens and put teams on notice, and this week I'm just doubling down on that. But cheers, bro. We got some dogs and locks there, Falcons and Fins. But on to where the money's made. I'm gonna give you my instead of 5 of my best bets this weekend, I'm actually gonna give you 6, because the last 2 weeks I've had 6. And that 6th one that I've been keeping off always hits. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna throw that 6th one on this weekend. We've had back-to-back winning weeks on bets. So if you haven't been listening, pay attention. 49ers -1.5. Spread's not big enough. Broncos have not looked good. The spread's this small only because people think Russ is still Mr. Unlimited. He has not shown that so far this year. Jimmy G and his 49ers with George Kittle is gonna be balling right now, especially with Surtain and Justin Simmons out for the Broncos. 49ers -1.5. One of my first lock it up. Second one, Panthers +3. Winston's back injury, Kamara still banged up. Saints O-line has been fucking abysmal. Brian Burns is going to have a big game. They lost their last 9 against the spread. I think they're fucking due for one here. And like, I know you're never supposed to say that, but I think they do. And they always sneak one with the Panthers. So I'm going with the Panthers one more time, +3. Make this a field goal game. Chiefs -5.5. How do you want to cut this pie? Mahomes in the dome, 6-0 against the spread. Colts have lost their last 10 straight at the home. Andy Reid off a long rest gets the Chiefs scoring a lot of points. Mahomes versus this coordinator, 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Colts got a rookie left tackle against Jones and Kalafkis. They're going to eat this fucking O-line alive. Matt Ryan's not mobile enough to get out of there. Shaquille Darius Leonard is out still, so Chiefs, this could have been a spread of 10, and I'm taking the Chiefs right here. Houston +2.5. Lovie Smith revenge game. Fields is not that good. I would never choose the Bears as a favorite. And Houston's just been the better team out of these two. And I think they're more scrappy. And +2.5, I think they're the better team. So I'll take the plus. Give me the plus numbers. Give me almost a field goal. And then my bonus. I got 2 more. My Jets +6.5. I think Bengals still win, but I think the Jets make it a close game just because their defense has been scrappy. Bengals O-line has looked terrible. Bengals are playing back-to-back road games, so they never like that in the betting perspective. So Jets to not lose by more than a touchdown, I think is a good pick. And then my final one is Ravens minus 2.5. You tell me I can pick the Ravens to win by a field goal against this Patriots team that looks terrible right now? Yeah, they almost lost to the Steelers last week if it wasn't for a Hail Mary type play to Al Gore, who mossed the cornerback. So Ravens coming off of a crazy performance is just going to repeat it again. So give me Ravens minus 2.5. And those are my 6 best bets of the week.
Hey, Lamar MVP, man. Can't beat it. Didn't you pick Lamar for MVP?
Yeah, I have him and Carr. Both of them were my 2. Lamar was my official pick. Carr was my sleeper, and we both agreed on that sleeper pick.
Yeah, Lamar MVP. I should have said Josh Allen, but I was feeling myself for that job. I felt like Charles Barkley when they had the all-time draft. He was like Allen Iverson.
He said, "What? Oh, I thought we picking who people like."
Yeah, that's how I felt about Joe picking Joe Burrow for MVP.
Well, shit. Maybe Joe Burrow turns it around this week. Maybe our boy Kev turns it around this week and a big pick wins out of it. Like, it's still early in the season.
Yeah, I'm only losing 4 this week. There was only 4, but I was like, yeah. None of them were the Falcons. When I know the Falcons finna win, that's how I know we finna get some dubs this week.
Okay, I respect it.
But let me break it down for them folks, because I don't think them boys really be understanding what we doing out here, man. So I'm gonna tell them, man, and I'm gonna let Bella tell their ass too, man, that this has been another episode of the Totally Blitz podcast. We hit you with that real talk. My boy Paul got the Canadian whiskey. I got that drink in my motherfucking cup. But I'm in this bitch getting drunk as fuck with that boy Paul Pickham with him concert. It's your boy Lil KK, a.k.a. the Don PYE, a.k.a. Kev Waterboy Savoy. And this is the Totally Blitz podcast. And if you didn't know, now you know. You big.
Passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been. I got a problem with